Marcus Chen had always known his golden retriever, Buddy, had a talent for finding trouble. Dead squirrels, half-eaten sandwiches, the occasional lost hiker, but never had he expected his four-legged companion to drag home what appeared to be a small, blue-skinned child with silver hair and eyes like liquid starlight. The girl couldn't have been more than 7 in human years, though her otherworldly features made age estimation difficult. She wore tattered clothing that seemed to shimmer with an inner light, and when she looked up at Marcus with those enormous, frightened eyes, something deep in his chest twisted with protective instinct. "Easy there, sweetheart," Marcus said softly, crouching down to her level. Buddy wagged his tail proudly, as if he'd brought home the world's most exotic stick. "Are you hurt?" The girl tilted her head, processing his words. Then, in broken but surprisingly clear English, she whispered, "Father? You are father now?" Marcus felt his world shift. He was a 35-year-old software engineer, single, living alone except for Buddy. He had no experience with children, let alone alien children. But something in her voice, desperate and hopeful, made the decision for him. "Yeah," he said gently. "I'm your dad now." 3 months later, Marcus discovered that adopting an alien child was simultaneously the most challenging and rewarding experience of his life. Zara, the name she'd chosen for herself after watching too many Disney movies, had integrated into human society with remarkable adaptability. Her species, the Velonai, were apparently natural linguists and cultural absorbers. The real challenge wasn't teaching her about human customs or explaining why she needed to wear a baseball cap to hide her slightly pointed ears when they went to the grocery store. The challenge was keeping her true nature secret from a world that wasn't ready for first contact. That illusion shattered on a Tuesday afternoon, when 3 sleek silver ships descended from the clouds and hovered over Marcus's suburban neighborhood. Marcus found Zara pressed against the living room window, her silver hair reflecting the ship's otherworldly glow. "They found me," she whispered, and for the first time since he'd known her, she looked truly afraid. "Who found you?" Marcus asked, though his gut already knew the answer. "The hegemony," she said. "They are, how do you say, the bad people, who took me from my real parents." Before Marcus could respond, his doorbell rang. He opened it to find 3 beings in pristine white uniforms, humanoid but taller, with elongated limbs and faces that seemed carved from marble. Their leader, a female with intricate golden tattoos covering her pale skin, spoke in perfect English. "Human male," she said, her voice carrying the weight of assumed authority. "You harbor a stolen asset of the hegemony. Return the child, and your primitive world will remain unharmed." Marcus felt something primal rise in his chest. The same feeling he'd had when neighborhood bullies had targeted Zara at the park, or when his own father had walked out on their family years ago. But this time, it was magnified 1,000-fold. "She's not an asset," Marcus said quietly. "She's my daughter." The alien leader's expression shifted to something resembling amusement. "Daughter? You form emotional attachments to property? How quaint. Nevertheless, the child belongs to the hegemony. She was bred for a specific purpose." "What purpose?" Marcus demanded. "Translation and cultural infiltration. Her kind are natural mimics, perfect for preparing worlds for integration." Marcus felt Zara's small hand slip into his. She was trembling, but when he looked down, her expression was determined. "I don't want to go back, Dad," she said firmly. "They hurt people. They hurt whole planets." The hegemony leader stepped forward. "This emotional display is irrelevant. You will surrender the asset, or we will take her by force." That was when something extraordinary happened. Marcus felt a calm settle over him. Not the calm of resignation, but of absolute certainty. He thought about the past 3 months. Teaching Zara to ride a bike, watching her discover ice cream, helping her with homework, reading her bedtime stories. He thought about the way she'd started calling him Dad without reservation, and how she'd drawn pictures of their little family, him, her and Buddy, that he'd proudly hung on the refrigerator. No, Marcus said simply. The alien leader's perfect composure cracked slightly. No? You heard me. No, you can't have her. She's not property. She's not an asset. She's a little girl who deserves to be loved and protected, not used as a tool. For your conquest. Marcus stepped protectively in front of Zara. And if you want to take her, you'll have to go through me. The leader laughed, a sound like breaking crystal. You would challenge the might of the hegemony? You, a single human on a backwater world? Marcus smiled grimly. Lady, you clearly don't understand humans very well. We're stubborn like that, especially when it comes to our kids. What happened next would later be studied by xenoanthropologists across the galaxy. The human's absolute refusal to be intimidated, his willingness to face overwhelming odds for the sake of a child who wasn't even his species, created a ripple effect that the hegemony hadn't anticipated. News of the standoff spread through Earth's communication networks within hours. The image of a single father protecting his alien daughter became a rallying cry. Governments put aside their differences. Military forces coordinated. Scientists shared decades of hidden research. But more importantly, Zara's own people, the Velani scattered across hegemony space, heard about the human who'd called one of their children daughter and was willing to die for her. The revolution began that day, sparked not by superior technology or strategic brilliance, but by something the hegemony had never understood. The human capacity to love beyond the boundaries of species, to claim family not through blood but through choice. Years later, as Ambassador Zara Chenvel stood before the Galactic Council, representing both humanity and the free Veloni worlds, she would always introduce herself the same way. My name is Zara, and I am the daughter of Marcus Chen, the human who taught the galaxy that family isn't about where you come from. It's about who chooses to love you home. And somewhere on Earth, Marcus would smile proudly, Buddy wagging his tail beside him, knowing that sometimes the best thing you can find isn't what you were looking for. It's what finds you.